Welcome back to Over the Line podcast. I am Gray here with my co-host,
Bear.
and that's it. No Jeremy. I think he's off this week because it's his bye week every other week. And Parrot's just Parrot. I don't know if we'll see him. He comes in, I guess, for special events like March Madness and helped us out there, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll get him soon. I told him to pick his stuff, and he's like, just pick random for me. I'm like, dude, you're like leading in NASCAR. So no, you pick, buddy.
Yeah.
So we'll get it from Parrot, see what he does. So, thanks to Wes Anderson for Moments of Time. Check him out on Facebook, Wes Anderson Music. Give him a follow on X and Instagram at Songs by Wes. Thank you to All Wear Clothing. Visit allwearclothing.com, mention Overline Podcast, and Brandon will get up with that deal. Thanks to Crandall's Quality Landscaping. Give Sean a call, 419-704-5471. Serves the Toledo and surrounding areas and that.
The United Kingdom.
Nice. I see that sign, Cena U, something with a bald spot.
Oh, I thought it was Cena, you stole my kebab, I think is what it said. Or
Did
Cena
it?
stole my kebab.
It said Cena U, something, something, bald spot.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
John Cena suck. But my favorite thing is, he can still sell all that merchandise as a
Oh
heel.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the best. That's a dope shirt too. He's got the fucking hat on that shirt.
I
You
like that
see that?
shirt.
That's sweet. I need to see if I can order me that shirt. That flag's sweet too.
I have the I have this down a little bit so I can't hear as much. I got the subtitles on and Netflix has crowd singing John Cena sucks.
I love that he's carrying it like he did like we said in One Night Stand '06.
Yeah.
That's what he did
So
last week too. It's the best.
he's good.
He's so good.
Great shit.
Great shit, pal. So thank you, Crandalls. Thanks to all we're close or we already did that one. Sparty Steve. Sorry about Spartans. We'll get into that later. Paper Denim Art, Great Key merch going back out on the road this week. And last but not least, Connell Barrett at datingtransformation.com.
And make sure you get over to datingtransformation.com and get that free consultation when you mention Over the Line Podcast. And in the meantime, get to amazon.com and buy Connell's book, Dating Sucks. But you don't.
Love it. All right, let's just go right into golf.
Yeah, we had Min Woo Lee ended up winning, holding off Scotty Scheffler in Texas. Poor Scotty still hasn't won at that. I think that's his second place finish at that event at Memorial Park. He's going to break through, but I tied the course record on Friday, shot 62, ended up shooting 63 on Sunday to finish one back. Also, Sammy Vailecki shot 62 on Sunday. He finished two back, but also tied the course record. So we had two course records this week in Texas. But Minwoo finally breaks through, wins for his first time on tour. Has had a couple close calls, so it is good to see Minwoo finally break through and win on the PGA. It's always good to see new stars get through on that. Not the best week for the podcast. Parrot was the best. Had Joel Damon at 18. Myself had Tony Finau at 32.
I was not even going to
Jeremy,
let him talk.
Jeremy
Sorry.
and Jeremy and Gray had Aaron Rye. Did not make the cut, and Dub and Cody didn't pick, so I got last place Ryan Palmer, who also obviously didn't make the cut. So going to this week, Valero Texas Open. Again, old school golf course. Always play at Valero, Texas. Usually don't get many big stars here because it is the week before the Masters, so you don't have tune up. Normally, you get the guys who need to make it, need to get in, or some of the guys who just kind of need to work on their game. But Jordan Spieth always plays this event every year at the Valero. He's a Texas kid, so he always plays the week before the Masters. But he feels it does himself good, and he has a green jacket, so it has worked out for him before. But our updated standings, I somehow took the lead at 32.4. Gray in second with 37.3. Jeremy 38.8. Parrot at 42.5. Cody 66.3. And Dub at 70. So I'll start us off this week and go with the defending champ who won in a playoff over Denny McCarthy last year, Akshay Bhatia. I think he's already in the Masters. I think he's already at Augusta. But it would be nice to round his game into form as he's been getting there over the last few weeks. So I think he could definitely repeat. There has not been a repeat winner at this course since 2008, 2009, Zach Johnson. So time for another one this week.
Since they're in Texas, not my pick. I'm going Corey Connors, but Parrott's going Jordan Spieth,
Hmm.
Texas boy, and Jeremy is going. At first, he said Harry Hamlin. You'll understand why when we get to NASCAR, but he's going Harry Hall.
Harry Hall, one of those guys who's outside of the top 80 and doesn't get an invite to the Masters, but he can punch his ticket with a win here in Texas. So not a bad pick from Jeremy.
Maybe we'll get a fifth straight miscut. I'd love that.
Yeah, he's had a rough go of it here. He needs to break himself off. I figured he'd go a little. Figured he'd go with someone like Connors, who has really good run here in course history. Same with Spieth, but going with Hall. But Hall has been playing some good golf lately. He's made, I think, 4 or 5 cuts in a row. So wouldn't be bad
Yeah.
for him to get in and do that. I
Yes, sir.
love Cody's suit, by the way. That's very
That
dapper.
is a very, very dapper suit. Matches the belt if you think about it.
Oh, it
Like with
does. Yeah,
the pinstripes.
yeah, I
Like
like it.
the pin, it's perfect.
I wish I could pull off a suit like that.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be.
But yeah, good week. Obviously, it's the week before the Masters, so no one really gives a shit about this week. Everyone cares about next week when we get Augusta. So very excited for that. Very excited for Augusta. It's always like the start of spring once Augusta hits.
Seeing
Over
his face when they're singing his song. Just looking around.
over to I can pat and cold clap him. Over to NASCAR. We got another win. Now we got 2 wins in 3 weeks. Dub hits with Doucherson number 2, aka Denny Hamlin. Denny hasn't won in Martinsville in 10 years, but dude has dominated that track. Dominated. But so cool for Denny to get a win again. Pulls out the flag, Denny against the world, number 11 against the world, because he is a Buckeye fan, funny enough. A lot of his buddies went to Ohio State, so he is I
So we
think,
got to give him a little
adopted.
pass, a
Yeah,
little bit.
I give him a little pass. He's an adopted Buckeye fan. He was at the national title game. So yeah, we'll give old Dennis a little pass there, but good for Denny. Broke through again at Martinsville, so good for Mr. Hamlin. The rest of us, honestly, we didn't have a bad week. Blaney got an 11th after starting 32nd. Not bad for myself and Jeremy. Gray gets a 9 out of Chase Briscoe, and Parrott gets a 12 out of Michael McDowell. That's big for Michael McDowell at Martinsville. And Cody didn't pick, so he gets last place Austin Cindric, who gets a 38. I thought about giving him Burt Myers just to be a dick, but I was like, nah, fuck it. He'll get total last place.
Yeah.
So our updated standings in NASCAR, not great for any of us, but Gray and Parrott tied at the top, 18.9. Jeremy with a 19.7, Dub with a 21, myself with a 21.9, and Cody at 35.3. Eventually, he's going to get one of those where like all these guys wreck that he's already picked, and then he might get himself like a 30 or something one of these weeks. Um, but going to Darlington this week, Goodyear 400, throwback weekend, always a good one. All the throwback cars. Kyle Larson's running, Terry Labonte's, I think it's Cornflakes car. Um, there's a lot of cool car designs out there for NASCAR this week. One of my favorite weekends to watch. But yeah, Lady in Black, Lady in Black. So Parrot already has B2K on there, Brad Keselowski. Where is the co-leader going this week in NASCAR?
I am going the same as Bird, actually. The best average finish in the last three races, two top tens, a top five, which was his win, the 6K.
That's right, he's not B2K anymore. I forgot. He's switched over. Jeremy going with last week's winner, Denny Hamlin. And I was on the Brad Keselowski bandwagon, but God, he's just had such a rough start to the year. I don't know what's going on, so I gotta kind of avoid him until something happens here. He breaks through, even though you guys are correct. This is a good track for him, but I'm gonna go Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe also has had some good finishes here the last couple years, and
He's been
uh,
good, quietly good this year, too,
yes,
with
yes, he
Gibbs.
has, and I like to see it because I mean he has won this race before a couple of years ago in a Ford. Now he's in Toyota, but he's been racing a lot better consistently in the Toyota. So I could see Briscoe definitely getting himself up there and getting a dub. I'm gonna have to start looking at him for our NASCAR league. I've not used him yet, but he's gonna have to get into the rotation. Though I did go 1, 2, 3, 4 this week in NASCAR, so and still didn't get high score. Damn you, mother-in-law. Damn you.
She got low score again with 60. And I know I was like, dude, I was happy with my 169 giggity. And because I
Nice.
sent it on Saturday night, and then the next morning I saw Bill Sr. sent his. I'm like, we got the same, of course. That's the second time we've done that this year.
Yeah, I had the same one as him a couple weeks ago and told him, and I was like, oh God, I hope this isn't bad for us. But
Yeah, I mean, it shot me up because I dropped back a little bit and it shot me back up and needed a good race. Now I'm right behind old Mrs. Bear.
yep, yeah, she did not have a good one last week. But she does all her own. I don't say a damn word. Don't say a word. She does her own research and makes her own picks. So she's definitely holding her own there in the middle of the pack. It's a good spot to be. And then Dad's neighbor, I just passed, so he's third. So
Who's first? Junior?
yeah, Junior's first. I
Just
told
like
him
he's leading fucking
he
NASCAR in ours too.
3 in a row he's won. And
I
I
know, which is nuts.
I texted him and Jared today, and I said, "All right, Jared, how many more weeks should we give Bill a head start? Before we actually start trying." I
That
said
was
it's like
insane.
so it's like when
I,
you're
s-
playing your kid in sports and you want to let him win, but you still don't
yeah,
lose, so you beat him right at the end.
and I was happy. I mean, I wasn't far off of them because he was getting too far ahead and I was like, 10, 15 points away and finished third. And I was like, all right, because it was like the top
Yeah,
three and then
and
a
then and
separation.
then Jeremy snuck in, and I'm like, where did he come from?
Right. Jeremy's always sneaking in.
Well, you guys had Denny Hamlin, and that was
That
Denny
was
had one
key.
of those. Yeah, he had one of those days. If you didn't have Denny, you were screwed. And I was between him and Byron, and I ended up going Byron because everything was, oh, Byron's got the best car, blah blah blah, and his car was fucking shit. I'm like, great, thanks a lot, analysts. So is why I go with my gut and not what you fuckers say.
But you still had top four on the other one.
Yeah, yeah, that one. I'm just DraftKings. I just had a bad week in DraftKings. It was rough. Yeah, I think I had
Yeah.
a few of my guys dropped. Byron Logano. There was one more I had. Oh, Custer. It was a rough week at Martinsville for me, going with all the fast cars. The only one who did any good for me was Bubba, who's also been quietly having a fantastic season. Um, fantastic season. So, all right, that is NASCAR for the week. Let's all
Scar, let's talk about baseball a little bit.
okay.
So, one thing here is my favorite thing, as you know where I'm going to go in with this. So, I've been enjoying the start of this season, watching my Yankees just fucking belt home runs and score 36 runs in 3 games, and now
Yeah.
everybody's, oh, the torpedo bat. It's uh, it's the problem. But then you come to find out, Red Sox tried it out, Red Sox players, and they didn't like it.
Yeah.
Judge, because they're like, oh, Judge isn't even
He
using it.
doesn't even use it. Yep.
Yeah, he's just belting home runs.
Yeah, but he hits homers with the barrel. But the whole point of the torpedo bat is to move where your barrel. So, like they were saying with Volpe, Volpe is really the one that kind of started the whole thing, who brought it to
Yep.
everybody because he said he hits a lot off his hands, more off the not the barrel, closer to his
Yeah, the
hand.
inside part of the bat.
So
Yeah.
that's why he moved it there for himself. But as I read, it's as long as you're in regulation by length and diameter, who gives a shit? Whether your barrel's at the end of the bat or it's closer to
Or
your
at the
hand
front of the
or it's in
bat.
the
Yeah, it's more
middle,
towards the middle. Who
who
cares?
cares? Yeah.
Exactly. There's
Really.
nothing illegal about it. And all you got to do is you see who uses that bat, pitch him outside.
Hmm.
Like, you know what he's doing. Like, that's all it does and changes it. I think it was smart on their part. I didn't even know about it till you sent the picture and
I
it
didn't, yeah,
started to
till
get me.
after that game. Yeah, it was after Saturday's game when they blew up, which, by the way, it had nothing to do with that.
No,
The only reason why I put Judge for a homer and parlayed the Yankees in the over that day is because they were facing Cortez. I knew nothing about the bats. I'm just like, Nestor coming back to New York, he's going to get murdered. They know what
yeah.
he throws. He's going to get murdered. And what happens?
Which,
Three
which by,
pitches, 3 homers.
which by the way, he made history against them. No pitcher in MLB history had ever given up 5 home runs and walked 5 batters in a game without facing at least 35 batters. He faced 17 and didn't.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when your name's Nestor the Molester. So,
I loved it. And so the
you know,
Yankees
I looked
fucking
at that. I looked at that and watched the Yankees smoke the Brewers this weekend. And then I was like, well, okay, yeah, they got their revenge out there and whatever. And the Brewers come home for their home opener day and lose 11 to 1 to Kansas City. I'm like, maybe the Brewers just suck. Maybe
yeah,
they're just not good.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, they got slaughtered today. Kansas City put up 4 in the first inning.
Damn.
So obviously they got a starting pitching problem. And then their relievers had some issues today too. I saw the Reds scored 6 in the first 2 innings today.
Go
um,
Reds.
on Texas. But yeah, I like you said, torpedo bats, other people use, and that's fine. Everyone use them then. Make it your own and use it. I mean, there's
Yep.
nothing illegal as long as it's in the realm of the bat tolerances, I guess, the bat specifications. So
Yeah. Everybody's all pissed off. It's like, oh, they're gonna look away from the Yankees. They're like, now they're within the rules. Shut the fuck up. Like, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
yeah, I mean, it's again, if it was any other team, which it's already been, and already have teams, nobody cares. And you know me, I'm the biggest Yankee hater of them all,
You
but
are.
I don't care. It's in the specifications. It doesn't matter. Like, who cares? That's how I look at it.
That is correct.
That's how I look at it. But yeah, enjoy that. We have our first suspension of the year. Juxton Profar, 80-game suspension for a PED violation. So the Braves, who, by the way, scored 0 runs against the Padres this weekend, the only team in baseball who has not scored a run, um, goes and, oh, by the way, plays the Dodgers tonight
Oh, good luck.
for the next three. And the guy that they just gave big money to in the offseason is suspended 80 games. So the Braves are probably going to be in the cellar of the East. They need Acuna and Strider back like tomorrow. Bad.
That.
Yeah, that's rough. They just need to score a run tonight, but guess what? They're going up against Tyler Glass now. So good luck. Good luck.
Oh shit.
And for me, who bet the Dodgers first to 10 wins, likes to see that. So
Oh yeah, 100%.
you get that, but yeah, it's been a decent start to the MLB season. We're seeing more runs. It feels like we're seeing more home runs, which I like to start the year. So, um, that's exciting. Makes baseball good, makes it fun. But I think we're gonna have like I said, I think in all reality, if you really look across all of baseball, take the Dodgers out of the equation, I think everyone for the most part is rather, they could contend for sure. The Dodgers obviously are ahead above anybody else. And the Yankees, yes, they look good in their opening series to start, but you can see they just don't have what the Dodgers have. And I mean, it's ridiculous. The Dodgers have been down, I think, 2 or 3 times already and have won every single game they've come back. So they're just built to win. So we'll see how that goes throughout the whole year. But good start to the baseball season.
Yeah, in hockey, we're getting closer to the end of the regular season,
Mhm.
and Capitals have clinched in the East. Jets and Stars have clinched in the West. They're the only three teams over 100 points, and so that makes sense. They've clinched. Vegas will basically clinch in their next game, and you're going to see a lot more teams clinching here soon. So we'll see what the playoffs look like here in a bit, but only two teams eliminated are the Predators and the Chicago Blackhawks.
I see the Kraken and Predators as well, also eliminated.
Am I not down far enough? I am not.
Yeah.
You are correct. Kraken and Predators.
Yep. Yeah, the East is going to be tough. Detroit's just not going to make it there again and come up short. They got to go on a huge run here in the next 9 games, which just isn't going to happen. They're 3 points back of Montreal. Ottawa pretty much has the first wild card spot wrapped up. Um, and you got Montreal with 77 points, the Rangers with 77 points, Columbus with 75 points, Detroit with 74, the Islanders with 74. Penguins are there at 71, but that's a
But
super,
they've already
super
played
tough run. Oh
75
yeah,
games too.
yeah, I see that. They have. Really kind of in the catbird seat there. The Columbus Blue Jackets, 2 points out, and they have
10 games.
one game to the good on Montreal and 2 games to the good on New York.
Yeah.
So see if the Jackets can make a little run. It'd be a
And
good
New
story.
York's
With,
fallen apart. The Islanders have fallen apart with 5 losses in a row.
yeah, yes, they have. They were up there, and they have. It's been a rough go for them.
It it's like the Bruins, man. They've lost 8 in a row.
Yeah, yeah. Trading Marchand and everything, it felt like they kind of gave up on the year there.
They
And
definitely did.
they actually lost to Detroit on a Sunday or a Saturday night game, which never happens. But yeah, it'll be like I said, it'll be a I don't think it's gonna be much of a mad dash. I mean, it'll be good there, but like I said, I kind of think Detroit and New York are out of it, in my opinion. I think it's really Jackets, Rangers, Canadians for that last spot, unless Ottawa totally shits the bed, which I doubt because they're just a stout team. Good goaltending with Allmark. A lot of underrated talent on that team. They'd be sneaky in the playoffs too. But yeah, it's good there, and then out in the West, man, it's pretty much the two wild card teams are about in. 87 points apiece for Minnesota and St. Louis. Next closest 81 with Vancouver and 80 for Calgary. And St. Louis does have one game to the bad, but that's not enough for what they got there. So the West is definitely going to be a lot more competitive, I think, than the East. But I think we're going to have some fun playoffs here in Hockey coming down the stretch.
Yep. And then over to basketball. We're getting close on that too. 74 games have been played basically, and uh, for the East, it's going to come down to the Raptors are the only team that's not eliminated and still has a shot. They're 28 and 47, but they have a small shot to beat to get in over Miami. I don't think it happens, so you can basically say they're eliminated too, I would say. And then out west, the Blazers are not eliminated yet, and neither are the Spurs or Suns. And your 10 seed is the Kings at 36 and 38, and the Suns are right behind them at 35 and 40, so they're a game and a half out. And then the Spurs are 31 and 43, so they're a little far out. And then the
Yeah.
Trailblazers are 32 and 43. So it's probably going to come down to the Suns and Kings.
Yeah, I think so. And the Kings just got some bonus back. They're getting healthy. And I think that's gonna be good to make that run. Mavericks, got AD back, so they can definitely hang in there and keep one of them 9 or 10 seeds. But yeah, I think it should be good. Grizzlies fired their coach. Kind of surprising this late in the season before the playoffs. So we'll see how Memphis does in the playoffs with a brand new coach. I don't even know who the hell it is. I'm assuming just an interim, but definitely going to be an interesting run in basketball. But it's going to be a fun run down the stretch. We're getting in the good time of the year. Playoff basketball, playoff hockey, baseball,
March Madness is
WrestleMania.
finishing up.
Great shit, pal. Great shit.
Great shit, pal. Speaking of March Madness, so only the second time in history, I thought it was more than this, we get all four number ones. The only other time
Miami,
was
2008.
2008,
Yeah.
and so 17 years ago. And I look back, I'm like, shit, I thought it happened in 99. And I went back and looked because it was Duke, UConn, Michigan State, all one seeds, but Ohio State was a four.
Michael Redd.
Yep. And so I was like, ah, well, shit. And obviously, I think UConn beat Duke that year, and and Michigan State. They ended up winning the next year. They had Mateen Cleaves that year, and I went back and looked at some of the Sparty shit and Sparty lost to Auburn. They looked looking brutal as shit in the first half and shooting threes, and they got so far behind they just started shooting threes like crazy. And then, of course, towards the end of the game, in the last 2 minutes, they couldn't miss a three. I'm like, well, you're too far behind.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I'm hoping as a Sparty guy, we're losing Zapala and losing Fiddler and Akins. And I'm like, fuck, we might lose Jace Richardson. He's a freshman. We're going to see what he does. I mean, he wouldn't be a lottery pick. Would he be first round? Probably not. I think he'd be early second round, maybe late first.
I'd be
Um,
surprised if he came back one more year. Dad tell him you're
that's what I
staying
thought.
one more year.
That's what I figured. His dad would just say, you got to stay one more year. I mean, because he didn't start, but even if he doesn't come back, Trey Holloman will start over him. And but I like Jace because he just takes over.
Hmm.
And hopefully Cohen Carr stays for his junior year. I'm happy that people got to see him play, and he got to start a couple games ago. for his first career start. And dude's just a baller, man. He always goes after the ball. He's got, what did they say, 80 some inch vertical, something ridiculous.
Jesus.
His vertical's insane. I don't think it's 80. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, because he can get up like it's crazy if you watch him dunk and block and everything else. And he's just got to work on some fundamentals too. But they're gonna have Cooper back, and hopefully Holloman stays another year, and Jace Richardson comes back, and they've got a young team. Koenkar's a sophomore, Jace is a freshman, and they've got the guys there that can do it, but they just got to stay. And but now the transfer portal's open. I don't know if you've seen it. All five starters of Robert Morris, who was in this tournament, are transferred or in the portal.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the worst thing that NCAA has right now. I mean, the portal shouldn't open until after the season's over. I don't care if kids want to move and go, but to have the portal open, which by the way was like a week and a half ago at we're mid-tournament and kids are leaving and coaches are moving and going places, like there needs to be a buffer here till at least the end of the tournament. I mean, think about the coaches that are still in it. They want some of these kids in the portal. Now they have to sit here and focus on a Final Four game and not focus on who they're going to get in the portal and all that shit. So I don't like it. I think it should at least be after the season. But whatever. I mean, it's the NCAA, but it's going to make college basketball a bad product. Put it that way.
Yep, and we saw Maryland's coach left for Villanova.
Yep.
Um,
I think we talked about it last week. Sean Miller went to Texas.
yep,
Xavier's coach went to Texas. Yeah,
yeah,
Maryland's coach goes to Villanova. There was another bigger one that I can't remember off the top of my head right
all
now
right.
who moved, but
Yeah, because Xavier's coach, he beat Texas and then left for Texas.
yeah, yeah, yes, he did, which is hilarious. Um, but yeah, I think it's something that needs to be looked at for next year for sure. Just in the transfer portal and all that. Like,
Same thing with the
wait till the
the
season's over.
college football too. And they did it mid playoffs.
Yeah, it,
It's
I
fucked
hate
up.
it. It needs to be done after the season's over. Once the national championship game's done, the next day, that Tuesday, right, for football and basketball, that Tuesday, open up the portal at 9 o'clock and do whatever you need to do and go from there. Don't do it mid, don't do it mid March Madness. It just takes away from everything. But but yeah, we got two good Final Four games coming up Saturday. We got Auburn and Florida, which I thought would be a walkover if Jamani Broom broke his arm like I thought he did. Is what it looked like. It looked like he broke his arm and his knee in the same play. It was scary, but he didn't. He did look like he was still laboring that arm. Definitely couldn't use it. You could see on some of the box outs and grabbing boards. But he said he's going to play on Saturday. And then you got Houston and Duke, the late game. I don't think that one's going to be as good. I think Duke's just going to be too much, but maybe Houston. I mean, if they do what they did to Tennessee, though, goodness, would Tennessee put up 13 in the first half? 13
It
points?
was
It was
it was crazy.
like the lowest in a tournament game ever, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, just should be again. I would hope that's going to be a good game, and Houston's defense can keep them around, but we're gonna see. Both teams like to slow the play pace, so maybe bet the under, folks, on that one.
Yeah.
But for the podcast bracket, we have a new leader. Ryan Peoples won. He's back leading. Got Auburn winning it all. He's up by 50 points on Shiv 2. ESPN fan, a whole bunch of numbers is in third. The pod is in fourth. Now, with that being said, the pod has
Wins, we
Duke.
win, right?
The pod has Duke. Shiv and ESPN fan both have Florida, and Ryan Peoples has Auburn.
Let's
So
go Dukies.
So it's gonna most likely come down to the national title game because I think you get 320 points if you pick the national title winner, which would be quite a bit.
Come on, Duke. God, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
And we have
We have Duke, Florida.
yeah, so we need Florida to beat Auburn because we have Florida over MSU. I wonder who the hell picked that. Wish Auburn was in there. We would have had more points, but what does Ryan know? Well, it's not just you, it's Parrot and Jeremy. It's all of
Oh,
you combined
Par-
against me.
I thought Parrot took the other one.
I think you guys all. I think Parrott went with Michigan State. Um, I gave my case for Auburn, and yeah, I got overruled. Pretty sure Jeremy, you guys all went with Gray's heart instead of your brains.
And we
Um,
did. We got Duke over Florida. Come on, my brain went. I was one round off. That's
uh,
one.
we we would have gotten another. How many points is it for the friggin' Elite Eight? Elite Eight is let's see, we got 240 and we got three right. So what is that? 80 points apiece then? So we would have got
Yep.
another 80 points. So we'd be sitting at 1050 in second place if we had Auburn over that. But that's
How
okay.
far are we out?
We are 110 points out. I mean, we're fine. We're okay.
We just
Um,
need Duke to win.
Ryan Ryan Peoples has Auburn over Florida, Duke over Houston. So he picked the Final Four correct. So he has Auburn and Duke. We have Florida and Duke. So we need if we get Florida and Duke, um, we will win.
Because how many points is it? 180
Looking to see what the points are for the Final Four.
or
I think
160?
it's 160 because it's 320. So I think it's 160 apiece.
Yeah. So even if Auburn wins, but Duke has to win, because then
Yeah,
we'd be behind by 270. We win by 50.
yeah, if Duke wins the title, we win no matter what. That's set in stone. But if we can get Florida versus Duke, we're good because we will at least have both of the title games in. So we either need Florida to beat Auburn or we need Duke to win the title.
Well, but if Florida beats Duke, we lose because Chivy 2 has Florida.
That's okay. It's Shiv. You're not gonna give him shit.
I don't, no, it's not even about that. Fuck him. This is bragging rights. Let's go Blue Devils.
Ugh, gross.
Come
Um,
on,
I have
Cooper Flag.
I have a future on Florida, so I'm rooting for Florida personally
Oh,
because last time I checked, I haven't gotten a check from who are our sponsors again? Our Amazon. Who are our fake sponsors that we always say cut the check? Those sponsors.
oh, Amazon, Taco Bell,
Taco Bell. Yep. I'm drinking
uh,
some Sugarland Moonshine right now, so them also. They haven't cut us any check.
Jason Tatum shoes,
Haven't cut us any check.
the
So
LeBron Monopoly shoes, Mattel's Turbo Man, um, Roblox,
Roblox.
PNC Vista card. Remember that one? We did
It's
that
great.
one.
Yeah.
Uh, Pepsi Zero Sugar, the unofficial drink tonight that goes with your Sugar Land, whatever he said.
Moonshine. I'm drinking that straight. So apple pie.
Oh,
It's delicious.
warm apple pie.
Just throwing
Oh,
that in there.
and Yark Chevy today is an unofficial sponsor because I gave them a fuck ton of money today.
Yeah, I saw your new vehicle. Very nice.
It's not mine.
I saw your
You
wife's
know
new
who that
vehicle.
is.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
I was like, oh yeah, should we go and I'll tell you after the show, but I'll give you that whole rundown. But yeah, so Yark Chevy, unofficial sponsor of Overline Podcast today.
And really fast. Oh no. Oh, I thought I could win. I'm 10 points behind in the bracket. Oh, Cooper's ankle. I'm 10 points behind the pod. And I have Florida over Houston. And I was just looking, and Shiv has Florida over Houston. So
Ah,
because the other dude who has Florida over Duke. So if Houston would have beat Duke, I was like, ooh, maybe I can sneak in there and win it. But no, Shiv
who's
missed
that
out.
ESPN fan? Blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
no idea. No idea. Someone,
So
I wish I would, and they can't win. Oh no, they could win if they get Florida and
Florida
Duke.
beats Houston. Yeah.
If Duke, no, Duke beats Houston. Shiv has
Oh, they have
Houston.
Florida and Duke.
Yeah, Shiv has Florida and Houston. ESPN
So if
fans
it's
Florida and Duke.
okay.
Yeah.
So if it's Florida and Duke, that guy has a shot.
Yeah, or gal. I don't know who it is. I like the ones who are random and we don't know who they are. Those
Yeah.
are my favorite. I like when people randomly. I like random
And then
reach
we're
out.
like, hey, I'm in Boise. Didn't we say we've sent stuff to Boise,
That was Ryan
Jersey?
Peoples. That was Ryan Peoples. That was our boy Ryan Peoples.
Yeah.
He was
Shout
one
out
of
to
my
Ryan
favorite.
Peoples. He's
Yeah.
the he's won, has he won twice or once, or
No, he won this last year. He only won once. Our
who
football
won
one
the
was won by the guy in Jersey, I think.
and then we had somebody somewhere else, like in the Midwest, Missouri, I think.
I can't
Had
remember.
people. That's what's cool, even if they listen or don't, we're happy we got some people out there. I'm sure they've listened to one because they get out there, follow us on Twitter or do whatever and or X and
Yeah.
just more things out there because we don't promote the show, we don't care. We do care. We thank our 17 listeners or however many there are now. Um, we thank all 17 of y'all and but we do it for us. It's fun. We like sports. This is our passion. That's why Bear and I are still here. Dub's gone. Fucked up. Cody's pretending to sleep. Parrot's parrot.
Pirates
He
flying
forgot.
around.
It sounds like he forgot to pay the gas bill and the phone bill, so his wife's pissed off. So, yeah,
Why, why would she even let him be in charge of any bills?
I don't know.
That's a
I don't get it
mistake.
either.
That's a mistake in general. All right, we'll go
But
through the rest of our standings here. Cooper's ankle in fifth. Montez T. Baggins picks XXX in sixth. Ari
he's done.
Smith, Ari Smith 2000 in seventh. Teabagged by Montes in eighth, not done. Gator Tater ninth. Shiv 1 10th. Be easy, take it easy. Sorry with your UK Wildcats out.
Brad.
Techno Team 2000. Eric Green 1. Brian Cardinal Fan Club. Eric Green 3 had Tennessee. He's out. Iron Bowl of basketball does have Auburn over Alabama, but they're way down the list in 16th. I'm not going to win. They're right. They're not going to win.
Nope.
They have 590 points, probably will be in last. And then the other ESPN fan who picked Florida is all the way at the bottom.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah, let's March Madness. We have three more games of college basketball in the 2024-2025 season.
Man. I'm gonna see if Fahey's in the podcast bracket. He might be ESPN fan. I don't know.
I guess, yeah, I didn't realize you probably click on it and see who they are, can't you?
I don't know.
Wonder if you can. Normally, you can see their name or at least a username. Let's see. I'm still undefeated in fantasy basketball. Just got to run through Nate, and I'll be undefeated champion of our fantasy basketball league.
Is Nate in the championship with you?
Yep, it's me versus Nate. He used a lot of moves on the last one to get into it, so I still have like 21 moves I can use left, but I think I had like 10 of my 12 guys playing today, so I'm just gonna wait it out until I don't. But I mean, my team's so good, it's hard to get rid of anybody. Like everyone plays 30 plus minutes a night. I got Jokic, I got LeBron, like everyone's healthy. It's tough to do that.
Damn, I lost another one. 5-4. Some bitch.
I don't know.
Just went on a bad losing streak.
I guess it doesn't give names here on the doesn't give names on what we have, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll figure out who the ESPN fans are. But yeah, we got that coming to a close. Did I tell you about my fantasy hockey league?
No.
Feel like I got screwed in. So I was in the semis and played a guy and we tied. So it's just like basketball categories. So we tied at five, right? He goes over me because of higher seed. That was the tiebreaker. Isn't that the most bullshit tiebreaker
What?
you've ever heard of?
Yeah.
That's what I said. And he ended up winning the title. And I said, you didn't really win. You didn't even win in the semis. I'm like, how'd you win? Well, I got you on the tiebreaker. So then he goes, well, what should the tiebreaker be? I said it should always be head to head in the regular season. And guess
Yep.
what? We tied
You beat
there.
him. Oh.
It was 1
Oh.
1. And he goes, okay, so then what would you go to? I said, a on ice shootout. Last place person in the league is the goalie. I said, now, in my defense, that's not fair because I can't fucking skate. I said, so you would probably beat me in that. I said, but that's not the point. The point is, you never beat me to get to a
Or
championship.
make it easy and make it nine things.
Yeah, that's what we'll probably switch to. But
Or
yeah,
11. Add another one.
yeah, it was frustrating that I lost in the semis because I tied 5-5, but it was the 2-3 matchup, so I was the three seed, which is even worse.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was a little disappointing there, but fantasy baseball started up, so I got that. I got Judge, so having a good start to the year.
He's hitting bombs.
I drafted third, so I mean
So
Otani
Shohei went first.
and Witt was second.
Yep.
Bobby Witt from Kansas City. So pretty much, I mean, I really wanted to reach for Ellie De La Cruz, and I didn't just because I was like, ah, man, Judge just has the. I mean, he's gonna walk so much. Like, I'm gonna get free points for walking. I'm gonna get 115 RBIs, 50 homers. Like how many doubles?
You
Because he's
might
just
get
gonna
300 homers.
he's just gonna smack shit off the wall. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So this is Judge's point total so far in 3 games. Game one, 7.1. Game two, 59.2. Game
Jesus.
game three, 29.6. Homer,
What's the
two
what's
ribs.
a good average?
I mean, if you want just a starter, like I mean, you get 14 points for a home run. So a night, if you're getting, if you get anywhere from 8 to 12 points every night from a guy, 6 nights a week, that's a good week. 72 points for a guy is a pretty good average week. Because you got to think, you're obviously going to have some nights where you're going to go fucking 0 for 4, right? But the big thing is you get points for walks. Obviously, you get points for runs, hit by pitch, all that. Homers, 14 points, ribs, everything. So even with Judge, after he hit his home run on Sunday, he walked 3 times after that, scored every fucking time.
Huh.
Every time he got knocked in. So, I mean, it's just easy money on that. Absolutely easy money. But yeah, had to go Judge third, and I'm happy I did. But yeah, it's pretty decent team. Got Freddie Freeman coming back around after that. Catcher Cal Raleigh from Seattle. I got Marcus Simeon from Texas. Matt Chapman from San Fran, Bryson Stott from Philly, Joey Ortiz is a no name, Luis from Fingo, no name, Jaron Duran from Boston, lead off, TJ Friedel from the Reds, lead off, and Lars Nootbaar from St. Louis, also lead off. So my whole outfield are a bunch of leadoff hitters. And then
You
I
know
got
they're
a
gonna
Pete,
bet extra in a game.
oh yeah, and then I got Pete Crow Armstrong from the Cubs, just because of his base stealing prowess. So. But yeah, along with Judge, Mike Toglia, Connor Wong, Brian Rocchio. My pitching staff is rough though. That's what's going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to really work on that this year. I got Chris Sale. He was my first ace I took. Um, Jack Leader from Texas, who had a good start. Christopher Sanchez had a good start today against Colorado. Clay Holmes and Pablo Lopez. Oh, and Roka Sasaki, who got destroyed against Detroit, his first run out. And I
Oh
got
yeah.
Clase Batista, Keely Jansen, Lucas Ursag are my relievers. So pretty solid team. Defending champ. So I gotta make sure I defend my title well this year. So I'm gonna do my damnedest.
Well, that's good luck. That's all I can say. I'm not in
Thank
any
you.
fantasy baseball. I don't have any time for any of that shit.
Dude,
I
it's
got too much
it's
going on.
yeah, fantasy baseball has to be the toughest thing to manage, but I mean our draft was 3 fucking hours. 3 hours.
In
25
person,
rounds. 25. No, no, thank God it was on Yahoo, but 25 rounds, 12 guys, a minute and a half per pick. And people would literally use like the whole minute and a half. And I wanted to blow my brains out in about round 18. Yeah, I was at that point. I was like, this is
ah,
gonna suck.
I gotta see. Hey, when does your thing get sent out for DraftKings?
For NASCAR,
Yeah,
usually it's at 3 days before, so Thursday at 3 normally.
I don't know if Louisiana does Louisiana have online betting? Because if they don't, I might have to send you my NASCAR picks.
Let's see, Louisiana DraftKings. Well, if I could spell Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Mobile and online sports betting are legal in Louisiana. There you go. You're good.
I will be good.
You, sir, are good in Los Hood.
Yes, I'll have to put that in. Um, and then next week I'll be in. Let's see, Georgia. I think I'll be fine there. I'm in
Yeah, I think
between
so.
Georgia and Bama.
Yeah, I think Georgia is good. Um, I don't know about Alabama. They might be one. They're pretty they still have slavery down there, don't they?
Yeah.
They're pretty far right.
hmm Also, Pelicans shut down Zion and CJ McCollum for season because of their injuries.
Just saw that come through. Not surprising. Not
Nope,
surprising.
not at all.
Feel like they
Um,
do that every single year though.
uh, fuck. I don't know. Nope, it's not Fahey. Fahey didn't get into ours, so it's not him. Thought it was him that got the bracket in. Might be ESPN fan, blah 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 blah. But it is not him.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. So not him, but that's okay.
Well, then he's not winning any swag.
No swag for that son of a bitch.
I saw I saw Jimmy Haslam finally came out and admitted that they had a big swing and a miss on Deshaun Watson. They just now admitted after 4 years that it was a terrible trade. So good for them.
For
Which
who?
De Deshaun Watson.
Oh, they finally admitted.
Yeah, which
I
is
saw there was
fucking
that
terrible.
thing that Cleveland was trying to get back.
Yeah, it was fake. It was all shut down. Bruce Drennan in Cleveland is making up bullshit like he normally does.
That figures.
Yeah, yeah. I like Drennan, but he's a loudmouth who just makes shit up. So no surprise.
Son of a bitch. Why would he do that to us?
Because he's a nerd.
Goddamn nerd.
Fucking nerd.
The all right. So just have a few things left. So now that sports are out of the way, I can get some of my statistics for you. So this was funny as shit. Stacey King was hilarious for this one. He said, "I'll always remember the night when Jordan and I scored 70 points combined. Jordan had 69, Stacey Knight had one, or Stacey King had one. Sorry, solid. That was funny shit. This was amazing. Paige Buchers played varsity basketball girl as an eighth grader, and the game I was watching her, the video of her, she had 12 points off the bench versus the number one team in the state. She's an eighth grader.
Jeez. Yeah, people tend to forget very easily that if Paige never gets hurt, Caitlin Clark is nobody. Paige Brookers is Caitlin Clark. People tend to forget that, and that's why she's about to lead UConn to a fucking title this year.
Yeah,
Something that Caitlin couldn't do.
yeah, because that had to be her back in high school, right? That shit I saw
Yeah,
Ha- had to be. Where she
yeah.
was playing
Well,
varsity as an eighth grader.
I'm pretty sure. Yes, I think that is correct. Pretty sure
That's
that's
just
correct.
that's insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, she's very, very, very good. Very good. As long as she can stay healthy, yeah, she's gonna be. She's definitely gonna be. She's gonna be up there.
Because they're in the Final Four, right?
Yes. Yeah, they play. I think they play USC tonight.
So
Or
they
no,
should beat
sorry,
them.
sorry, they're Elite Eight. Excuse me. They get to the final. They're the last game tonight to go to the Final Four. Yeah, they play. Yeah, they play USC tonight, which without Juju Watkins, they're gonna do. Yeah, TCU and Texas are playing right now for the other another Final Four
Yeah,
spot.
because what South Carolina and UCLA are there.
Yep, yep.
Texas is paying TCU, USC, and UConn. UConn's a 14 and a half point favorite.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it'll be UCLA and or USC slash UConn and South Carolina and TCU or Texas, which I think South Carolina is going to be a shoe in there, but it's just my opinion.
Could be.
They've been
Man, South
struggling the
Carolina.
last couple weeks
Yeah,
though.
They won by 11 against Indiana, 4 against Maryland, 4 against Duke.
And they were down in both those games like under 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Hmm.
God damn, pal, what the fuck?
So we'll see what South Carolina can do and get there. But yeah, I think the winner of the national title will come out of the other side of that bracket. Should be UCLA and slash or UConn.
I was so happy with my Michigan State girls beat Harvard by 14 and then lost by 34 to NC State. That was great. I love women's college basketball. It's awesome.
Yeah,
How often do 4 number ones get to the Final Four there? Pretty much every year.
I was going to say probably every year.
Yeah. So, um, just absolutely wild. So, let's look at this stat. Let's revisit this stat now from 100% of college basketball national championships since '04 were ranked in the top 12 in week 6 in the AP.
Hmm.
Number 2, Auburn. Number 4, Duke. Number 9, Florida. Who's the other one? Houston.
Houston.
They're not in the top 12. Only team.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
they win, they'll change this projection.
Change. All right. I don't think they will, but it's possible.
It is very possible. I did watch Stephanie's Places with CM Punk.
Hmm. Hmm.
Pretty good.
Okay.
She did a good job. It was fun watching her interview Punk for a little bit. It was more of a Punk's story coming back and then, a little bit of Punk there. So that was a lot of fun. Looked forward to it. It was good. Netflix is doing a Scooby-Doo live action series. Looking forward to that too.
Interesting.
Love me some Scooby-Doo. I thought this was a fun thing I didn't know about. Before passing in 2015, legendary North Carolina coach and Hall of Famer Dean Smith left $36,000 in his will so that every one of his former players would get $200 to enjoy dinner on him.
Hmm. I saw that. Yeah, that was cool. Super cool.
Classy as fuck.
Oh, absolutely. That's what he was, though. Dean Smith was a stand-up guy.
Yes, he was.
I mean, pretty much was, I think, as the story goes, he pretty much like took the father figure role for Michael after
Hmm.
his dad was killed.
Hmm.
That was after he was out of college.
Yep.
I think he reached out and pretty much like took him under his arm and all that stuff. Is I don't know, was he? I don't think he was retired by then. He probably was still coaching at UNC because that was what like 92 or
91,
93
92, or 93, 93.
because he went and played baseball after that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know when Dean Smith retired, but I want to say it probably would have been like mid 90s, late 90s.
So he coached till 1997. He was their
Okay.
coach.
Yeah. Yeah. So good, just a good man all around right there. That's for sure. Good
Yep.
man all around.
So, um, R.I.P. Dean Smith, died 10 years ago. Um, so this was something that I know you'd enjoy. Oh, I'm gonna read this whole thing for you. So nothing to do with sports. Maturity is realizing that in the film Titanic, Rose decides to throw away a $250 million pennant in memory of an unemployed man she slept with exactly once. A man who never even owned the necklace. She completely disregards the fact that the explorer who brought her to the wreck had built his entire career around finding that necklace. Yet, she held on to it for decades on an off chance she'd end up at the wreck site again, just to chuck it into the ocean for no good reason, and croaks in his bed, and goes and waltzes past her husband in the afterlife to meet up with the 3-day fling. Meanwhile, she conveniently leaves out the part where she let Jack, the 3-day love of her life, freeze to death because she couldn't scoot over a bit on the giant door. Oh, and maybe, just maybe, her husband of many years might have liked to know she'd been hanging on to a $250 million necklace all the time. How about her granddaughter, who was caring for her? An early retirement fund, anyone? The real villain of Titanic, ready for it? Not Cal, not the iceberg. It was Rose.
The
Still love the
iceberg,
movie, though.
not the iceberg. I love how they threw the iceberg in there like it's the iceberg's fault. It's in the fucking middle of the ocean. Oh shit, that's funny. That is. That's good. Good shit, Pat.
That's the name. That's the
Good.
name of this episode too, not the iceberg.
Not the iceberg.
I thought that was hilarious as shit.
No, no, that's good.
Um, all right, now I got a fun one for you. I was gonna save this for when Jeremy's here, but we're gonna do this a little different. I'm gonna give you 15 shots at this.
Okay.
You got to get 10.
All right.
The most 60-point games in NBA history.
Mm, okay. Um, Kobe.
And
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, and then I'll tell you how many they got.
Okay.
So Kobe is number two with six.
Hmm. Okay. Um, 60-point games. God. Wilt?
Number one with 32.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's not even close from one to two.
No, not at all.
Jordan.
Number five with four.
Wow, and there's 15?
I'm giving you 15 guesses for 10 people.
Oh, okay. So are there only 10 people who've scored 60 points then in a
It's
game?
just it gave me a top 10 list.
Okay.
There's got to be
Um,
more than that, but
okay. Goodness. Let's say,
here I'll give you a hint too.
okay.
One, two, three, four, five, six are current. So you got one more not current, and then six current.
Um, LeBron?
Nope,
I don't think so. Yeah, I was about to say, I
he's
don't
not in the
think,
top 10.
yeah.
So one off, LeBron.
Um, I know guys who've scored. I mean, so what's 10 at? Two?
Two.
Two.
So 7 through 10 are at two.
That's the tough part because I know guys that have scored one for sure, but I don't know if they've scored two who are current. Um, I want to say this guy has two. Devin Booker.
Devin Booker's number 10. Well, number seven. Seven
Yeah,
through 10 are all the same.
because I think he put up a 70-point game too in there somewhere. Um,
So at least 60, yeah.
how about Donovan Mitchell? He
Not
had,
Donovan.
damn it, he had the 170 burger and that was it. Shit. I was hoping that he had another one in Utah maybe or something. Okay, so I'm out two guesses and I got six left.
Yes, sir. Five current.
Five current. Oh man. Um, I feel like this guy could get hot, but I don't think he could score 60 though. Steph?
Steph, number nine,
Okay.
or 7 through 9.
Okay. Um, man.
So four current, one not.
I feel like there's gonna be just fucking some random in there. That's the tough part. I mean, because there's guys who, and this isn't like I'm just talking out loud. Like I
Mhm.
know SGA puts up points, but I don't know if he's dropped 60 twice. Like Giannis, he puts up points, but I don't know if he's dropped 60 twice. Um, there's got to be some fucking random ass one in there that's gonna kill me. But I feel like a guy like this one's a little off the radar, but he was his own team in Portland. What about Damian Lillard?
Number three with five. Good
Woohoo!
call.
Got a few there. All right. I would have guessed he would have been on the two list, but I know that he had some monsters. Um, so what do I got
Four
left?
more.
Four
So you
more.
got three current, one retired.
Um, let's waste a guess on a retired guy. Shaq Diesel?
Nope.
Ah,
But another hint, I will tell you it was a Laker.
okay. Kareem?
Nope. I should have gave you more than that.
That's all right. That's all right. That's okay. I got two guesses left.
We
Or
got
three.
one.
Oh shit. I got one miss left. Oh boy.
LeBron, Donovan, Shaq, Kareem.
Fucking Kareem couldn't put up 60 twice. What a bum. He had the best skybook in the game. All right. I got to get back to current. It's going to be easier than trying to think of retired. Let's see. Let's rack my brain here. Um, I don't think this dude's put up 60. Oh, that's I don't like it, but I'm going to do it because he can score. Durant?
Nope.
Ah, damn it. All right. Give me where's the retired guy at on the list?
Uh, he's sixth with three.
Three. What position did he play?
Forward.
Ooh,
And he played in the NBA
I would hope
uh,
so.
from 58 to 71.
Ooh.
11-time All-Star.
Bill
All-Star
Russell?
game.
He
He
was
was
a
a
center.
Celtic.
Oh, this is a
Uh,
Laker still.
yeah, he's the Laker, the guy that's
The Laker
retired.
was the retired guy. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
he was Rookie of the Year in 1959. War number 22.
why am I blanking on that? Not Jerry West. He was a guard. I'm trying to think. I know there's one more. Baylor. Elgin Baylor?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I was escaping my mind. All right.
Elgin.
So three current. Give me
Yep.
their positions.
See, you missed your five, but that means you can still guess because you can still win. Um,
But
guard.
I already
Uh,
I blew it on actually I blew it on the other Lakers, so we're okay.
oh yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Um, I would say guard, center, forward.
Is Carl Anthony Towns on there?
He is.
Damn it. That was the one I didn't think he had. And I was gonna guess him over Durant. Shit. I should have stuck with my gut. I
So
knew it.
there's your center. And then your other guy, well, so one of the other guy, he can play forward, he plays point guard, he plays shooting guard, plays forward.
Mm.
He's one of the best in the league now.
Who does he play for? I'm blanking.
The Lakers.
Oh yeah, Luca. Duh.
Yep,
Duh. Is Jokic on there or no then? No,
he's
because there's
not.
only one center. So you said there's a forward left or a guard?
There's a guard,
Guard.
because like I had to look back at Luca. I'm like, well, Luca plays anywhere.
Kyrie?
Nope.
I'm just trying to think of people who've had to play on teams where they had to score. Like it's not going to be a Celtic because I mean, there's too many good
Well,
players there.
well, this guy's played for five different teams, and he's scored 64 times. He was
Five
an
different-
MVP back in 2018, 11-time All-Star, six-time All-NBA first team in 14, 15, and 17 to 20. He was the sixth man of the year in 2012,
Six man of the year and he's dropping 60?
but that was in 2012. Because then he's a three-time NBA scoring champion in 18, 19, and 20. And my last hint for you, he played for Arizona State.
There's only been like three good people who've ever played for Arizona State. And I'm totally blanking on it. Yeah,
He
who is
looks
it?
he looks weird without a beard.
Oh, James Harden. Oh man, yeah, he totally slipped my mind. I forgot about Harden. Yeah, he could score. Now
Hey,
he just a sister, but
yep. What Go back to our brackets. What does Shiv have in as his names?
I think one is Shiv 2 JF.
Oh, that's him. So Shiv 2 JF is Fahey.
Ah, okay, so he is in then.
So
So Fahey's the one who's in second. And then Shiv 1 was in 10th. He had Michigan State.
Shiv 4 BT. Do you have that one?
I do not. No, I just have Shiv 1 and Shiv 2 JF.
ESPN fan 8900-523-796.
I don't have that one.
So um so Shiv 2 JF. So Fahey wins our pool if Florida wins, right?
Correct.
Over, but they have to win over Duke, right? Because if it's Houston, the other guy will win.
No. The ESPN fan also has Duke. I have Houston.
Oh, but Fahey has
Oh, I'm sorry.
Florida and
No. I lied. Total other way around. Fahey has Florida over Houston. The guy below him has Florida over Duke. So if it's Florida and Duke, Fahey does not win. If it's Florida and Houston,
so
Fahey wins.
if Florida over wins over Houston.
Yeah, Florida beats Houston. Actually, if Florida goes and Houston goes, no matter what, he wins. If Florida Houston's the final, he
But he
wins.
has Houston.
No, nobody has Houston, so no one can win. So as long he has Florida, or I'm sorry, he has Florida beating Auburn, Houston beating Duke. So if he gets a Florida Houston final, no matter what, he wins. If Florida and Duke play, he loses because the dude below him who is 20 points below him has Florida and Duke in the final. So no matter what, he'll get overtaken because of that. So
So Fa so
it
how
comes
can
down to
Ryan
Houston.
Peoples win?
He has Auburn winning.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fahey wins if Florida plays Houston.
ESPN
Guy who won last year
wins if Auburn.
wins if Auburn wins.
If Auburn wins though, if it's Auburn and
Yeah,
Duke, we still have a shot.
if Florida beats Duke, new guy wins. If Duke wins, the podcast wins.
Correct.
Let's go fucking Duke. I got a bunch of swag to give away, but I just want bragging rights. We haven't had it since year what, one?
Yeah, when Dub was here, shockingly.
Hmm.
Shockingly, pal.
What winner gets? Swag gear? Yes, sir. Swag. That's what Brad just won. Brad, you don't have a shot. Kentucky's out.
Yeah, sorry, no shot there.
He said, fuck, I have a Duke with money. I have a parlay with Duke money line. Go Duke. That was Fahey. I'll give you some swag either way, Fahey. All right. So I think that's all I had in our let's make sure I got no other screenshotted stuff I saved. No, I don't. So that's it for us on this one. Not the Iceberg. Thank you to Wes Anderson, Allwear Clothing, Kranos Quality Landscaping, Calabar, DanaTransformation.com, Sparty Steve, Great Key Merch, Paper Denim Art, and as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
Fuck, dude.